Hey friends, it's me, Emily, otherwise known as Yeah Yoga, and welcome to Strong Abs Yoga Flow. So I hope you'll join me for some mindful yoga movement for building strength in the core, but as you'll know if you're regular to my classes, that is not really what this class is about. But I really hope you'll enjoy. So get your props ready. We're going to get ourselves feeling yeah, not meh, and let's get straight into it. So we're going to start in a seated position this evening, or whenever it is you're practicing. I'm going to go ahead and hop myself on a block. You can sit yourself on whatever's close by. Take your time, get yourself comfy. I really struggle with the intro to these videos. Got through it, it's all good. Place the hands on the knees, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. So I invite you just to take a few really nice deep breaths in and out through the nose to start with. Eyes can be closed. Just listen to the sound of my voice. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to bring your hands into a prayer position, Anjali Mudra, in your heart center. Or if it feels better for you, you can place both hands over the heart, whatever kind of calls to you most. And in this practice, our yoga flow for strong abs, I'm going to invite you to check in with what it is that's brought you to the mat today, that's made you choose this video. And whatever reason it is, just know it's absolutely okay. If we're here for the physical, fantastic. I'm glad you're here. If you're here for finding that headspace, for delving a little deeper into the very fabric of who we are, that's amazing as well. But just ask yourself, what has brought me to the mat right now? Because I'd like to offer up a thought for this sweaty practice. We are going to sweat. What would your life and the world around you look like if you spent just as much time helping others, lifting others up, as you did on attaining strong abs? Do we put in just as much work? Food for thought for this practice. So please set yourself an intention. I intend to invite, followed by something positive to nourish and fuel you through the practice. And then whenever you're ready, let's slowly come out of a seated position. Take your time. Move nice and slow. I love setting an intention before my practice. It helps to really guide me and keep me moving in the right direction rather than it just being about the physical. So find a tabletop position and just start to slowly wake up the hips by moving from side to side. So if you've got any injuries in this practice, my friends, please, please, please just modify however you need. And remember, you can always come to a child's pose. So you can always stretch the hips backwards if you're not sure about a child's pose. Bring it back to that as well. Let's take the swiveling of the hips in the other direction. Breathe nice and deep in and out through the nose. We're going to set our most important heating Ujjayi breath in just a second. And right now, I'm just practicing this in my living room. My dishwasher has just gone completely bonkers and is being so loud, so I hope you guys can't hear it. Okay, let's slowly start to tuck the toes under. Keep the knees where they are. Squeeze the belly button in towards the spine and see if you can lift the knees off the floor. We're hovering the knees off the floor just for a second. Arms are nice and straight and strong. Hypermobility, bend your elbows a little bit. If you don't have hypermobility, twist your elbows back towards you, nice straight arms. From here, inhale, squeeze the right toes off the floor. Exhale, squeeze the right knee towards your arm. Slowly bring it back. Deep breath in, pick up the left foot, point the toes. Exhale, squeeze it in. So we're waking up the core straight away. Mindful movement, deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze it forward. Inhale, bring it back. Pick up the left leg. Exhale, squeeze it forward. Let's do one more on each side. Oh my gosh, I can already tell I'm gonna sweat so much today on this drizzly British afternoon. Slowly bring it back. Keep squeezing the tummy in towards the spine, tucking your tailbone under. Breathing here for 3, for 2, for 1. Drop your knees down to the ground. Roll yourself up and come into a seated position. Core is engaged. We're sitting on the toes. Make sure that the little ones get under there as well. A little bit of mindful opening for the feet. Feet need our love as well. So the sensations are going to get quite intense there, but stay with it. You're so much stronger than the sensations. Let's bring the hands back to the heart center. And from here, we're going to set Ujjayi Pranayama, so our warming, victorious breath. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth, the sound HA. Feel the shoulders relax. Inhaling. Exhaling. As though you're fogging up a mirror and you've got like a long love note to write in the mirror. On the next round, close your lips halfway so the sound comes out through the nose. Stay with the sensations on those feet. Now close your lips entirely. So it's this kind of oceanic sounding breath. And I always take the time to set the breath in my classes because it's the most important part. If we're just diving into the asana, to the postures without the correct breath, then we're not quite working with all the tools that we have available to us. So keep this sound of breathing going, and now we can bring the hands forward. So well done. Untuck the toes, give the feet a little pitter-patter, make it rain a little bit. And then from here, let's plant the hands forwards a little bit, lift the hips up and back. Come into your first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hands hip distance apart, feet hip distance apart, hands shoulder width apart. Oh my gosh. Breathing nice and deep here, and let's inhale, ripple it forwards to a plank. So this is how you know your down dog's in the right place. Shoulders over the wrists, squeeze the glutes, exhale, send the hips up and back. Let's use Ujjayi breath a couple of times there. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, up and back. Scoop the belly in, make space away from the ears with the shoulders. Inhale, send it forwards. Relax your face. Exhale, send it back. And then one more time. Inhale, send it forwards to a plank. Hold your plank there, really strong. If you need to come down to the knees, come on down to the knees. Just keep tucking your tailbone under. So I always want this yoga to be for everyone. Now try and keep the hips as steady as you can. If you need to walk the feet a bit wider, go for it. See if you can touch the right hand to the left shoulder. Hold it here for 3. For 2, embrace the trembling. For 1, right hand down. Squeeze the glute, squeeze the thigh. Left hand to the right shoulder. Holding for 3. Holding for 2. And for 1. Beautiful. Left hand down to the floor. Lift it back and up into your downward facing dog again. And let's pedal the legs out. Let's twist the hips. Look underneath each shoulder. Whatever works for you, just make sure you're being really conscious in every movement. So my teacher once told me, you can never consciously hurt yourself. And I believe that's true in thought, in action, in word. We're going to hurt ourselves and others if it's when we say or do things unconsciously. So let's consciously, with our Ujjayi breath, tiptoe our way up to the top of the mat. And inhale, lift the chest, flat back position, Ardha Uttanasana. Squeeze the belly and up, squeeze your thighs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forwards. Give yourself a little hug here. You can wrap the arms around the back of the legs, bending the knees generously if that feels good, straightening the legs out if that works for you, but it's the start of the practice, so go easy. Take the hands down in front of you, look towards your thumbs. This is your drishti, your point of focus. And inhale, roll yourself all the way up into the sky, look towards the thumbs. And exhale, hinge at the hips, melt down towards the floor. Let's do a couple of sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back position. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, left foot back. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, drop the knees down to the ground, untuck the tailbone. Supported chaturanga, shoulders forwards, elbows back. Hold it here. Kiss the elbows towards the ribs. Drop the hips and the belly to the floor. Low cobra. We start slow. There's no need to dive in super fast and hurt yourself before you're warm. Lift the hips up into the sky. Find your downward facing dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. Looking towards the knees. Inhaling. And exhaling. Maybe looking towards the navel if you can. Inhaling. And exhaling. Elbows twisting down to the floor. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last deep breath here. And release. Slowly start to tiptoe the feet towards the front of your mat. Take your time. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back position. And exhale, fold down into Uttanasana. Lean into your toes. Bring the palms together. Inhale, sweep the arms up into the sky. Everything is super strong. Exhale, hinge at the hips, melt down towards the ground. Lift your chest, flat back position. And exhale, plant the hands. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. Supported chaturanga as we just did, or taking it forwards, shoulders forwards, elbows back, look to the front. Inhale if you feel ready, up dog, everything off the floor except the hands and feet, or low cobra. And exhale, send it up and back, downward facing dog again. Got a little something hanging off my legs there, that's nice. Holding here, breathing nice and deep. Have a look towards the hands. First finger, middle finger roughly pointing towards the front, and then all 10 knuckles onto the ground, especially the fleshy part between the first finger and the thumb. This is your Hasta Bandha, hand lock on the mat. So think feet forward, feet backwards, hands forwards, knitting the rib cage in towards one another. And breathe here in a downward facing dog. If it's feeling a little bit tricky, just know that down dog does become a resting pose one day. Or a restful pose at least. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to start to tiptoe the feet, crossing the legs over to get to the top of the mat. So take your time, getting into the hips here, bringing a little playfulness. I like to bring joy and playfulness into every class, every yoga session that I do. So I hope you'll join me in the playful options. Inhale, lift the chest flat back. And exhale, fold down into Uttanasana again. We bring the palms together, third round. Inhale, sweep the arms up into the sky, look towards the thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forwards. We're going to lift the chest flat back. Options, the two options we did before, supported chaturanga, step back chaturanga, or if you're ready, hands to the floor, bend the knees, jump back chaturanga, bending elbows at the same time. Try not to land too far below the elbows, try to land roughly in line. We come up to up dog in an inhale or low cobra, and exhale, send it back for your down dog once again. And if here you're finding it difficult to straighten out the back as we've got here, if you find the back is curving a little bit, you think about bending your knees to help really straighten the back out. We want to prioritize a straight spine here, making space between the vertebrae rather than straight legs and a rounded back. So take a last couple of deep breaths here, really squeezing those knees and those thighs. And then all together, let's inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forwards. At the end of your exhale, step or float it to the top. Take your time. See how softly you can land. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back position. Exhale, fold down towards the floor, Uttanasana. Palms together again. Inhale, sweep it all up into the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And from here, sweep your arms around, big circle. Imagine you're flicking water up at the beach. Shoo! Up into a chair pose. Tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your belly in. Activate Mula Bandha, which is your pelvic floor muscles, your root lock. We're holding here, sink back, make sure you can see the toes over your knees. Holding here for 3, shoulders away from the ears. Holding here for 2. This is where we build the mental resilience and the strength. And for 1, come down half chair pose. Send the hips back, send the arms forward, squeeze the belly in, see if you can get the chest towards the thighs. And if you're feeling really fantastic, lift your heels, look forwards here, squeeze everything, holding here for 3. Ujjayi breath still on, you've got it for 2. Oh, I look to the left and it makes me wobble. And for 1, slowly hinge down at the hips. Beautiful work, let's lift the chest once more. And then slowly sweep the right leg behind us. If you find it hard to touch the floor here, it's where you might use a couple of your bricks or props. Keep the right hip in line with the left hips. Point the toes to the back of the room. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Kiss your right knee to the outside edge of the left ankle. Inhale, squeeze it back up. Exhale, core is engaged. Slowly bring it down. Inhale, squeeze it back up again. Exhale, kiss it down. 2 more here. Inhale, squeeze it up. Feel that left hip and left thigh switching on. Inhale, bring it back up. Last one here. Exhale, bring it down. Hover it. Squeeze the foot towards the bum. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Holding here for 3. Holding here for 2. Holding here for 1. Slowly step your right knee to the outside edge of the left foot. We come down, ready for Ardha Matsyendrasana, our twist. Left hand behind you. And exhale, right elbow to the left knee. So if this is too much on the legs, unhook that right leg underneath you and take it in a straight leg variation, pulling the toes towards you. So we're breathing nice and deep here. Looking over the left shoulder, make sure both sitting bones are on the floor. Left hand can be behind you or maybe hooking around as well. Option to take the right hand down the outside edge of that left foot. Take a last deep breath here. And slowly twist around to the right hand side. Keep the hips as they are. Place the fingertips out nice and wide. Bend your elbows and take a counter twist, looking over to the right hand side. So trying to get a lot higher up into the spine, twisting up into thoracic spine. Take a nice deep breath in, and then your exhale, slowly, gently feel into that twist. Never go into anywhere that doesn't feel right in the body. Ease off if something doesn't feel good. Take a last deep breath here and slowly come back to the center. You may well be at the edge of your mat like me. That's okay. We don't let a little thing like that stop us. We send our legs forwards. We're coming into Navasana, boat pose. So if you need to, hold on to the thighs. This pose is for everyone. If you're building strength today, it's never I am weak. It's I am building strength, always. So if you're building strength today, hold it here. If you're building strength here, hold it here. If you're building strength here, hold it here. Keep opening the chest. Look beyond your toes. See if you can smile it out. Send that joy into your practice. Holding here for 3. Breathe deep. Holding here for 2. Holding here for 1. And then we're inhale. Going to slowly bring it down to a low boat. And exhale, squeeze it up into a high boat. So inhale slowly with your Ujjayi breath. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, squeeze it up. Shoulders open. Inhale, send it down. Squeeze the thighs together. Exhale, bring it up. Remember, use the hands if you need. 2 more. Slowly coming down. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, bring it down. Last time. Maybe flutter the legs a little bit here. Going for a little bit of a little paddle. And then slowly bring it back up. Beautiful work, everyone. We're slowly going to cross the legs back over. Left foot comes back down as you roll forwards. Take the right leg back up into the sky. Drop the hip down. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, drop that right foot to the floor. Now stay with the toes untucked, or if it feels okay, roll over onto the top of your foot, stretching the ankle. So either is good, whatever works for you. Inhale, slowly kiss the right knee to the floor. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, match the movement to your breath. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, slowly drop it down. Exhale, bring it up. 2 more here. Inhale, slowly down. Exhale, squeeze it up. Last one here. Inhale, slowly bring it down. Exhale, squeeze it back up. Lift the arms up into the sky. Taking like an aerial lunge here. So really strong through that left thigh, that left glute. Stretch the arms forwards. Feel the awakening of the legs. Feel the core switching on. Holding here for 3. Holding here for 2. If the toes are tucked under as well, that's absolutely fine. And for 1, slowly drop the right knee down to the floor. Untuck your toes if they're not there already. Take the hands behind the back of the head. Inhale, deep breath in. And exhale, gentle open through the upper back. So we're thinking about lifting and lengthening, opening up through the top part of the spine, the space between your shoulders, tucking tailbone under, keeping the left knee over the left ankle. And then whenever you're ready, cactus the arms out to the side. Hold it here, pull the shoulders open, core is engaged. Let's tuck our toes under now, lift up into a high lunge, and from here, stretch the arms up and overhead as you start to lean forwards once more. We're going to take a couple little rocks backwards and forwards and then lift ourselves up for Warrior 3. I'm off into my plants. Drop the right hip down, Virabhadrasana 3. So you're looking towards the hands. If that's too much, bring the hands into the heart center or float them next to you. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. Really strong through the core. Activate your pelvic floor muscles. Mula Bandha. We're here for 3. Really push through those heels. We're here for 2. We're here for 1. And then bring your hands back into the heart center. Take a deep breath in. Slowly hover the right knee down behind the left ankle. And exhale, push it back up. So the same thing as we did before, but from a high standing position. We're just doing one more on this side. I know that the left side of the body, the glutes, are on fire. Slowly bring it back up. Take a nice deep breath here and step the right leg back behind you. Twist the right heel down to the floor. And we've made it to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So feel that left knee track on top of the left ankle. Opening the hips out to the side. Stretching the arms apart. I'm going to twist around so that I'm facing in the same direction. Well, so I'm facing all of you. Make sure the heels are in line with one another. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. If it feels good, keep tucking tailbone. Now let's bring the hands behind the back. Interlace them in the way you wouldn't normally. Pull the hands together if you can. Take a deep breath in and really push down through that right foot as you exhale. Hinge at the hips. Come down for humble warrior. Making any micro adjustments that you need to make to find comfort here, and drawing your shoulders down inside of the left knee. Holding here, the gaze is over the end of your nose, breathing deep for 3. Come back to your breath, come back to your intention for 2. And for 1. Slowly come back up, keep the hands together behind your back and straighten the left leg. Take a nice deep breath in, hips are tucking under, and exhale, hinge at the hips for your triangle pose, Trikonasana. We're looking over the right shoulder, legs are super straight and strong. Now release the hands and see how it feels when the hands were released. So notice the difference. Looking up towards the right hand, you can of course use a block on the inside of your ankle. What I'd try to avoid doing is dropping down to twist the torso to the floor. If we're doing that, we're not getting this opening through the side body. Feel that sensation through the hip. Can you send your breath there? Take a last deep breath here. Take the right arm over the top. Activate the core. Lift the left arm up as well. Keep twisting and opening the chest to the sky. Holding here for 3. Lift the chin away from the chest. You've got it. Holding here for 2. I know it's so strong. Holding here for 1. And slowly release. Lean. Twist yourself forwards once more. Come into that ready to strike position, and then slowly bring the hands down and bring them to the inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out a little bit. From here, shimmy the hips backwards and forwards. Place the right hand underneath the shoulder. Let's inhale, stretch the left arm up into the sky. And exhale, thread it underneath the right arm. Inhale, lift it up. You can use a block underneath the right arm. Exhale, send it under. One last time, my loves. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, send it under. Hold it here. Breathing here for 3. Breathing deep into the hips for 2. And for 1. Now, option here. You can stay in lizard, opening up into the hips. Or if you want to keep testing the strength of your core, maybe have a little hover. Hover of the arms, strength of the legs. Maybe you hover the left arm underneath the left leg. Hover the right arm around behind you, breathing deep here. If you want to take it to Kundalini, making sure you've got the space, feel free to do so. I'm going to stay in lizard pose with those of you that are in lizard pose with me. Let's hold it here for 3. Flying those arms, dropping that right shoulder for 2. And for 1. Great work, everyone. Bring the hands down to the floor. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Lift your left leg up into the sky. Stretch it out. Make a little figure of 8 in the sky, or just shake out through that hip, whatever you need to do. Breathing nice and deep here. Beautiful work. Let's lift it back up into a 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open the left hip, keep the left shoulder twisting down towards the floor. And then slowly start to draw your left knee through to the back of your left elbow. Hold it there, pointing the toes. If you find it hard to reach the knee to the arm, come forwards over your right toes a little bit more, or just hover in time and space. We're going to slowly drop the left knee down the back of the left arm. Inhale, squeeze it up. Getting into the obliques. Exhale, send it down. Inhale, squeeze it up. Are you still using Ujjayi breath? Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, squeeze it up. 2 more. Exhale, come down. If you need to drop to the right knee, drop to the right knee. Inhale, bring it up. 1 more. Slowly bring it down. Squeeze it back up. Hold it here for 3, for 2, for 1. Stretch the left leg up into the sky. And take a big breath out. Hold it here. We're coming into side plank. So from here, we're not coming into side plank. We're coming into wild thing. Bend your left knee, open your left hip, point the toes towards the glutes again, and either coming more to a side plank if you're not sure about wild thing, so coming sideways,
or starting to put the left foot behind you. Twist your right foot to the back of the room, lift the hips to the sky, and we're thinking strong through this right arm. If you feel any pinching, any problems in the right shoulder, it's not worth it. Come out. Be careful. Practice your ahimsa, non-violence to yourself. Keep opening up through the chest, through the belly. Strong legs here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Coming back through that side plank transition. Take your time. And then bring your left hand back to the floor. Sweep your left leg back up into the sky. And slowly, slowly, set your left foot forward. So coming down into pigeon pose. Yes, a little pigeon pose to break up our flow that goes up and down, because that left thigh, the left glutes are going to be on fire a little bit here. So if you can't come into pigeon pose, if the foot is stuffed all the way onto the hip, this is no good. This is just going to hurt the knee. Roll onto your back. Come to recline pigeon on your back, hands around the knee or the thigh, left foot onto the thigh. Otherwise, if you're there in pigeon pose, keep breathing. And let's stay up into an active pigeon, because we're still in the active part of our flow. So close your eyes. Make sure the hips are level. You're not dumping the weight into the left knee. Highly recommend using a prop underneath the left leg here. And I invite you to consider, again, that question of what would the world look like if we spent as much time and energy as we did on our own bodies as we did on the happiness of others. So for me, yoga isn't about just me. I practice so I'm a lot happier and calmer, but then so I can be a better person to the people I know and the people I don't know. So for me, yoga isn't just about me, it's about everyone else as well, people I know and people I don't. So from here, let's slowly start to lift ourselves back up. Hands down to the ground, tuck your right toes under, slowly sweep that left leg back up into your downward facing dog. And from here, slowly bring it back into that traditional down dog, both legs down. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to look towards the front of the mat, bend the knees, lift the heels, look into the hands, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, think about taking a couple of little bunny hops towards the top of the mat. So we're thinking about flicking the feet towards the bum, getting the shoulders over the hands, having a little bit of playtime, and just seeing if we can be really nice and still and soft there before we come all the way to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, flat back position, and exhale, fold down towards the floor. From here, come back into your chair pose. Reach the arms up into the sky. Squeeze the belly in and up. Holding here, take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, come to sit as close towards the floor as you can. Test the mobility in the ankles, and sit yourself all the way back into your boat pose. Beautiful work, everyone. Strong abs flow. Bring the hands into the heart center. Take a nice deep breath in. I've got sweat dripping into my eyes. And exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Hold it here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale back to center. Open the shoulders. Exhale to twist. Point the left toes away from you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale back to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale back to center. Keep lifting the chest. Exhale to twist. Lips closed. Breath switched on. That's what really brings that heat in. One more on each side here. Exhale to twist. Inhale with your breath to center. Exhale to twist. Come back into the center. Stretch the arms forwards and slowly roll yourself all the way down into the ground. Stretch the legs up into the sky. From here, look towards your feet. Flex them towards you. Heels in line with your hips. Lengthen your tailbone away from you so that you can't place your hands underneath your back. And from here, lift the chest. Relax the face, and let's slowly pulse mindfully up towards those feet. Think about energy flowing throughout the whole body. We're not kind of like just hanging out here, kind of limp, just like a mermaid trying to like get off a rock or something. We're here, we're stretching up. We're stretching up. Energy through the fingertips, energy through the toes, squeezing belly button to spine. Breathing here for 5, for 4, for 3. You've got it. For 2, for 1. Hold it there. Push, 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 and bring the hands down to the ground. Let your head rest into the floor. Keep the lumbar spine really pushing into the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, slowly stretch the right leg away from you. Hug the left calf. If you're wondering where the other side of the flow is, it's coming. take a moment here to gather your energy, to bring your breath back. Remember, it's never I am weak, it's I am building strength. We are resilient. Yeah, not meh, baby. Find the yeah, let go of the meh. So slowly switch the legs over. We're getting into the back of the legs here, pushing your leg a little bit away from you as you snuggle it in with the hands. So building strength, stretching through those left toes. Now slowly switch. Lower back stays into the floor and switch. Taking a little bit of a crunch here and switch. And switch. Now we're barely touching the legs and they're going to switch and switch. Keep crunching. Switch and switch. Mindful movement. This isn't when you go to the gym and you're trying to move your body as fast as possible. That's where the injuries come. I've taken those classes. They hurt. Now take the hands down to the ground, take the head down and keep switching. Think as the legs go past each other, you're scissoring them together, squeezing the legs past each other. Keep breathing. And keep lengthening your lower spine into the ground by squeezing the belly button in towards the spine. This is where you're going to really start to feel this practice through the lower abdominals. Breathing here for 5, 4, you've got this. 3, 2, 1. Release, bring the legs back up into the sky. And we're going to rock and roll up and down the spine and come straight back to Utkatasana. So think about bringing your feet together, knees apart, get out of your head, get into your body, get into your heart, find the playfulness, have a go, feet down, and we're in our chair pose. Yay! Take a nice deep breath here and exhale, hinge the hips. We're gonna take that whole flow to the other side. So we inhale, lift the left leg behind us, drop the left hip down, and slowly bend the left knee to the outside edge of the right ankle. Exhale, squeeze it back up. Use your blocks if you need. Slowly bring it down, inhale. Exhale, squeeze it up, looking forwards, chest is proud. Slowly bring it down. Slowly take it up. So we use the breath to stop our body from going into a state of fight or flight when we are having these more intense practices. Keep the breath strong and slow. Slowly bring your left knee down to the outside edge of the right ankle. Pull the toes in, hold it here for 3, hold it here for 2, and for 1. Hover the knee to the side, drop yourself down. We're coming into Ardha Matsyendrasana again. So right hand comes behind you. Stretch the left arm up into the sky. Exhale, twist over to the right hand side. Looking over your right shoulder, thinking inhale and exhale. Squeezing the belly in and up. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep breathing here. You've got this. Again, if you were taking the left hand down the outside edge of the right foot, please feel free to do so. Or the right arm around behind you. Take a last deep breath here. Oh, my sweat in my eyes. I need to think of a better way to do this. And then slowly twist around. Look over to the left hand side. Keep the hips as they are. Hands wider than your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and exhale, elbows out to the sides as you open into the upper spine. Deep breaths here. Remembering what brought you to the mat this evening, and hopefully leaving the mat with maybe a little room for self-inquiry as to, can our yoga be about everyone else as well? So whenever you're ready, slowly coming out, bring the hands forwards. We're going to come back into that boat pose. So take the legs out, hold your boat pose here, and then we're going to keep working into these strong cores. So draw the shoulders back. If you need to hold on to the back of the legs, please do. I like to call this kind of like the mermaid tail flip. So imagine you have water on the end of your toes and your exhale flicking it up, inhale drawing it down, all whilst maintaining really strong core. Exhale sending it up, inhale bring it down. Exhale sending it up, inhale bring it down. If you want to do it with the arms overhead as well, you can. Really strong compression there. Keep breathing, do what you can. Going for 5, breathe. For 4, stay with me, you've got this. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Hold it here. Option to hold on to the back of your thighs. Option to hold on to your 2 big toes, bend the knees. Option to extend the legs here as well. We're holding here, drawing the shoulders back, looking beyond the toes. For 3, squeeze the belly in, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. For 2, and for 1. Now, from having the hands to the feet or to the back of your thighs, see if you can slowly open the legs out to the side. Holding here. Upavishta Konasana, lift the chest. Squeeze the belly in. Find that open through the inner thigh. Holding here. It's not just hands and feet we balance on in yoga. Balance on the sitting bones, the bum as well. And now here's the challenge part. Can you let go of the feet and nothing moves? Keep the hands where they are. I forgot what I was about to say then. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in and exhale, let go of the feet. Hold it there for 3, you've got this. Hold it there for 2, and for 1, slowly come back into the center. Place your right foot back down and step it back out into your lunge. Take a deep breath in and exhale, drop the foot to the floor. Coming over onto that left foot and hold it here. Take a nice deep breath in. Kiss the left knee to the floor. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, slowly bring it down. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, squeeze it up. 2 more. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, squeeze it up. 1 more. Inhale, slowly down. Exhale, lift it up. Now reach the arms up into the sky, leaning forwards. If there's too much pressure on the left foot, modify. Tuck your toes under. Holding here for 3. Holding here for 2. And for 1. Drop the left knee down to the floor. Interlace the hands the way you would normally around the back of your head. Twist the left hip forwards. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Open up through the upper spine, thoracic spine. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Find that stillness where all that's moving is your breath. Great work, everyone. Stay with it. And then slowly let's release the arms, cactus the arms out to the side. Tuck your left toes under, and let's think about lifting ourselves up into that lunge. Take a nice deep breath in, stretch the arms forwards, and exhale, start to come up and forwards. I'm going to make sure I'm not cutting my head off in the edge of the frame, which I often do. Find your Virabhadrasana. If you need to bend your right knee, bend your right knee. Think energy through the fingertips, energy through the left heel. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. That's your Mula Bandha, your root lock to make your left leg light and long. Holding here for 3. Holding here for 2. And for 1, bring the hands into the heart center. Take a nice deep breath in. Kiss the left knee to the back of the right foot. And exhale, squeeze it back up. Use your toes for stability. Inhale, slowly come down. Exhale, kiss it back up. There's always going to be one side that's more wobbly than the other. That's fine. It's not better or worse. It just is. Whew, here I come, wobbling down on that left knee. And then slowly bring it back up. So well done, everyone. Step that left foot back. Twist the left heel down and round. And we make our way into Virabhadrasana 2. So you might walk the feet out a little bit like I have. And I'm just going to do my little prance around on my mat to find my way over to you. Stretching the fingertips away from one another. Keep drawing right knee on top of the right ankle. And we're holding here, looking over the right fingertips. Yes, pals. All right, let's take it to Humble Warrior, shall we? Bring the hands behind the back. Interlace them the opposite way than you did before. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly come down. Shimmying the shoulders inside of that right knee. Twisting the hip to the front. Let the head be heavy. And here, reminding ourselves, we bow down to all the things in this world that we cannot control. But as a warrior, finding strength for the things we can control and choose to change. Keep breathing here for 3. Soften your face for 2. And for 1, push firmly off that right leg. Whew, super strong. Keep the hands behind your back, straighten up through the legs. Squeeze the thighs and exhale, hinge at the hips. Take your time. So we're dipping the right shoulder down and twisting the left shoulder up like we would for triangle pose. Now we release the arms and notice the difference when then finding that way to gently lift and open the torso to the sky. So Utthita means extended. So this is Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. Opening up, see if you can look towards the left palm here. Relax your face again. And again, it doesn't matter if you're not touching the floor. It's not about that. Try not to push into the leg here. Oh, I feel it there in the back of my Achilles. That does not feel good. Protect yourself. Now slowly send the left arm up and over. Lift the right arm up and over. Keep that twist and lift of the chest to the sky. Holding here for 3. You've got this. Holding here for 2. And for 1, twist forwards into this thunderbolt pose, ready to strike again. And then bring the hands down to the floor, ready for your lizard pose. So take a little moment here, breathing deep into the hips. Giving them a little shimmy if you need to. Left hand to the floor again. If you need to use a block underneath the hand, please feel free to do so. You can put the left knee to the floor as well. And we inhale, so lift the right arm up into the sky. And exhale, thread it under. Inhale with your breath. Look up towards the right fingertips. Relax the face. Exhale, send it under. Inhale, take your time. Reach it up, stretch up nice and high. And exhale, thread it under. Hold it here. Can you breathe into the back of the shoulders for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now let's see if we can use that core. Find a little bit of balance here. Right arm underneath the right leg if that works for you. Kind of aeroplaning like you would when you're a kid. There's that joy. Holding it here. If you want to take the bind behind the back, of course. If you want to bring the hands down a bit closer and take Kundalini, you bend that left elbow in towards the left hip. If you want to take that flying lizard pose on that side, you're very welcome to. Otherwise, stay put, stay where it works for you. We don't have to go bigger or onto the hands or anything like that. It's whatever works for you. Take a last deep breath here and slowly release. Awesome job, everyone. Let's slowly sweep that right leg up into the sky. 3-legged dog here. Take a nice deep breath in. Bend the right knee, open the right hip, toes pulling in towards your glutes, dropping the right shoulder down towards the floor. Take another deep breath in. And out. And slowly squeeze the right knee forwards towards your right elbow. Squeeze the toes in towards the bum. Inhale, slowly kiss it down the arm. Exhale, squeeze it up. Arms are strong. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, squeeze it up. Remember, if it's too much, drop the knee. You're building strength. We're all building strength. Just different histories, different body types. Everybody is beautiful and strong in different ways. And then hold it there at the top. And inhale, reach the right leg. Up into the sky, 3-legged down dog. Now bend your right knee. And again, we're coming through that kind of side plank transition. So take your time, reach the right arm up into the sky. Drop the right foot behind you. Twist onto that left foot. So left foot points to the back of the mat. And then slowly, deep breaths in. Deep breaths out as you think about opening up through the chest. Legs are strong. Make sure your right foot's not going to slip away from you as well. Take a last few deep breaths here. And slowly come back through that side plank. So again, side plank pose. Right hand back to the floor. Inhale, sweep the right leg up. And slowly let's bring it through to our pigeon pose on the other side. So take your time. Drop your right knee to the floor. And come down. So I really encourage you, get those cushions in. Get those blocks in to go underneath your right hip. Friends who are laying on your back on the other side, hop on over, roll on over now. Get yourself onto your back to enjoy this open for the glutes here. And yeah, please, 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 pals, try not to have this foot just jamming here, or else you're going to be jamming into the right knee. You only get one set of knees, and they're very precious. Look after your knees, like precious diamonds that you wouldn't want to scuff up and crack in half and have making weird squeaky noises. Look after your knees. So slow everything down. Try to be true to what feels good for you, not just what you think is deeper or better. Where did we learn this thing about better in yoga? Or deeper? Is deeper better? Is deeper better in your body? Is this what you've experienced for yourself, or is it what you've seen other people do or on the gram? So let's take a last deep breath here. And tuck the left toes under. Let's sweep that right leg back up into the sky one more time. And then slowly bring the feet back down into a downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. And slowly drop the knees to the floor. We're going to come into a back bend, puppy pose. Thinking about stretching our arms forwards. So walk yourself back if you need to a little bit. Hips over the knees. From here, either forehead to the floor, or this might be where you want to use a block or a cushion underneath your forehead. Stretching the fingertips forward. Some people prefer to have the arms straight. Some people prefer a little bit of a skinny V. Other people quite like to put the chin to the floor and look forwards. So it really is personal preference. You don't ever have to get the chest to the floor. Doesn't make the pose. Everyone's built so differently. And just, keep your hips over your knees. Try to resist that urge to drop the chest all the way into the floor, because it probably means that the alignment has gone a little bit of knees over hips. And let's really breathe into the shoulders and the chest here. Should feel super nice through the tummy. All that strong core work we've been doing. And then slowly, slowly, slowly start to bring yourself up. Take your time. Walk your elbows in a little bit closer. Surprise dolphin. I know you're excited. Keep the hands out in front of you, elbows underneath your shoulders. So you should be able to get your fingertips all the way around the edges of your hands, of your elbows even. That's where you know you want to be. From here, lift your hips up into the sky. And some friends are just going to be here, looking forwards or looking down to the ground, pushing back away from the floor. Strong shoulders, strong elbows, Mula Bandha engaged. Some friends are going to think about walking the feet in a little bit further. Come to the point that you're uncomfortable. It's good to get uncomfortable in life. And hold it there, breathe there, look down towards the floor or slightly forwards if you can. If it hurts the neck, look back. But hold here, push away from the ground. We're here for 5. I'm right there with you. Strong through the shoulders and the elbows. Holding here for 4. It's okay to be uncomfortable. That's where growth and development happens on and off our mats. For 3. You've got this. For 2. And for 1. Slowly walk it back. Drop the knees to the floor. Take your arms down by your sides. And release. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, side out, let it go. Breathing nice and deep. Awesome, awesome work, everyone. We're starting to bring it down into the ground now. But not before one tiny little extra mindful yoga pose for abs. So we're going to bring ourselves to a comfortable seated position. You can either take a down dog and jump through, or you can come with me in a kind of very elegant swinging forwards of the feet onto the floor. It's your yoga practice. It's whatever you need today. So from here, we're going to slowly think about rolling ourselves down into the ground. And we're going to take crow pose on the floor. So this is a really great way to get your body familiar with the crow pose. So from here, we're going to think about squeezing the core in again. So squeezing belly button to the spine. Get your arms up and forwards and try to kiss your knees to the back of your arms. So your hands are inside of the knees. You're squeezing the knees onto the arms, bringing the toes to touch towards one another and lifting up into the sky here. If you're taking reclined crane on the floor, knees to the back of your armpits. Now here, we're really stretching up with the hands into the sky, breathing here. Lift up as high as you can. So the stronger the crunch, the more into the core. The stronger, it sounds like a chocolate bar, the stronger the crunch. Oh, crunchy. Holding here, breathing deep, stretching up into the palms. Holding here for 3. That's it, keep breathing, keep squeezing the knees in and up for 2. And for 1. Now keep your lumbar spine flat on the floor. As you take the arms over, send the legs out. Hold it here in a hollow disc position. We're holding it here for 5. Breathe deep. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just keep pushing the lower back into the floor for 4. You've got this for 3. For 2. For 1. And release. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Sigh it out, let it go. Shake the hips off. Beautiful, beautiful work. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's take a little happy baby here. Hands to the outside edges of the feet. And just take a little rock. From side to side, bring that playfulness in. My mission in life is to spread joy through yoga, through movement. So I invite you to really take this opportunity to check in with your most playful self here. And then slowly let's rock and roll ourselves up into a seated position and see if you can roll yourself up into a wide-legged position here. Take your time. So if you find it a little bit hard through the hamstrings, if they're quite tight, sit yourself on a block or a cushion. And from here, let's think about slowly taking the right hand to the left thigh. Inhale, stretch the left arm up and over. And we're twisting the chest up to the sky to find this beautiful open through the side body. So we're not trying to hold on to the feet. Some people are naturally very flexible and can hold it, but that's not where you need to be. It doesn't matter. Again, we don't want to always believe what we see on the internet. When yoga companies are trying to sell you clothes, they are showing you people who would do incredibly well in the Olympics gymnastics, practicing yoga most of the time. So just do your own inquiry. It's all good. It doesn't have to be. It's not about the splits. It's not about doing a handstand where your feet touch your head. Yoga can be very different for everybody. It's all about finding what works for you. So slowly release. Stretch your left arm over. Take a little circle here. Left hand to the right thigh. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Keep pulling the toes towards you. So thinking energy through the legs, through the whole body. And again, we open up through the chest. Reaching the right arm towards the left toes. Keep twisting and lifting. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your feet. Full body experience here. Lifting chin away from the chest. Let your body be open to all the good in the world around you. Open to love, open to change. Take a last deep breath here. Slowly release. Come forwards. Draw your arm over to the other side. And then from here, we're going to start to bring our feet in together and we're going to roll ourselves down into the ground. So take your time. Another last little bit of mindful core. Draw the toes together. Squeeze the belly button in towards the spine. And let's roll ourselves down for 3, for 2, for 2, and for 1. Beautiful work, everyone. Walk your feet in a little bit closer towards you. Hands touching the heels. We're coming for either bridge or wheel pose. So wheel pose, take your hands by the shoulders, fingertips pointing down towards the toes. Make sure that you leave a little bit in the tank to come back down with. I'm going to come into bridge pose with you guys. So take a nice deep breath in, squeeze the glutes, and exhale. Lift the hips up into the sky. Squeeze your thighs towards like an imaginary beach ball that's there. I don't know why it's there, but it's there, and we're squeezing it nice and tight. Now draw your hands underneath your back. Interlace the fingers, walk the shoulders under. Weight is in the shoulders, not the neck. Chin tucking to chest. And this back bend. Bridge pose. Setu. Oh my gosh. I've just completely forgotten how to describe bridge pose. That's okay. It will come back to me later. Oh yeah. Chin to chest. I'm having one of those brain fog moments. Breathing nice and deep. Into the belly. Into the ribs. And our bridge pose can be both energizing and relaxing all at once. And then slowly starting to come back down. Drawing the hips to the floor, hugging your knees to your chest. Draw your nose towards your knees so as to really neutralize the spine here. And then let's take a little twist. Draw your elbows out to the sides, cactus the arms out. Bring the knees over your hips, take a deep breath in and exhale. Draw the knees over towards the right hand side, holding here, breathing nice and deep. Looking over towards the left side. Let the knees drop all the way into the ground if they haven't already. Relax your face. Don't you just love it when you have just a total brain fog moment? It happens to all of us. But let's slowly hug the knees back over the hips. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, take them over to the left. Hover them above the floor for a couple of moments. Notice how it feels in the core. And then gently let them come down into the ground. And make sure that your right shoulder is pushing into the floor here. Still using Ujjayi breath all the way to the end. And then we're going to come back into the center and a couple of options here. We're going to take an inversion to close. So either going to come up for supported shoulder stand, toes up into the sky, draw your elbows in, place the hands to the back of the rib cage, lift up, and again the weight is on the shoulders, not the neck. Should be able to look at the toes here. Don't look away, you don't want to hurt the neck. So either here, you can also use maybe a bolster or something underneath your legs to just lift the legs into the sky, or just hold the hands here. That can feel really nice. Or we're going to roll forwards for supported headstand, Shirshasana. And if you're not quite sure where to go, come with me now. Elbows out as wide as your shoulders, but no wider. Hands nice and loose, and then place the crown of your head in towards the hands. Make sure the elbows really push into the floor. Walk your feet in as much as you can, and from here, you're just going to push away from the floor. Then if it feels okay, you might snuggle one foot in, and then the other foot in. You want to kind of get this upside down egg. It's drawing the knees in towards the chest to start with. Once you're here, you're kind of home and dry to lift the legs up into the sky for your supported headstand. Really thinking about squeeze the ribs together, squeeze the core, squeeze the glutes and the thighs, energy all the way to the toes. And if you're thinking about activating the core in your headstand as well, you might send the hips back, bring the toes down, and start to see if you can bring it into headstand pike, Shasana B, holding here for as many breaths as is comfortable. Keep breathing energy through the toes. Activating Mula Bandha or pelvic floor muscles, and then whenever you're ready, whichever headstand variation you're in, slowly bring yourself down. Little down dog dismount there. And then we're all going to bring ourselves down into the ground for our Shavasana. So if there's anything else you need to do right now, absolutely any other yoga pose, please feel free to do it now so that when you come down onto the mat, you can be so relaxed. You can be completely at ease. Drawing the shoulders underneath you. Spreading the fingertips out. Take a deep, deep breath in. And exhale, side all out, let it go. Feel the total heaviness of your body sinking into the floor, and just know that you are being held by this world, by me, by this community. Let your breath switch off, or not switch off, but switch off Ujjayi. Let the breath return to normal. Just knowing that right now is the wisest you have ever been. You know more today than you've ever known before about yourself, your craft, the world around you. So if there was ever a day on which to trust yourself, wouldn't that day be today? And if there's no such thing as yesterday or tomorrow, if today is every day, then shouldn't you trust yourself each and every day? So we may come to the mat to get strong, to work on our abs, but for me, the greatest strength that I've found through yoga practice is the courage to know that I always have a choice, that I can make a change, that I'm always learning and growing. So with each new breath, the choice is yours. How do you want to show up in this world? Keep relaxing here. I know it's tempting to switch off a YouTube video at the end, but this is the most important part of the practice. Let it sink in. Last few deep breaths here. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And slowly draw whichever arm feels most appropriate over your head. And with your eyes closed, roll over to that side. Come into the fetal position. And here we're just reminding ourselves physically that we're being reborn after our practice with fresh intentions and a fresh pair of eyes with which to view ourselves and the world around us. So I invite you to lift yourself up.
Take your time. Come up into a cross-legged position, a seated position. Draw your hands into a prayer and bow your head down. I thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. And I invite you to keep checking in with yourself. Why do I come to the mat? How can I share this energy and passion I have for this practice in other ways with others? It's been an honor to guide you today. You bring the hands to the forehead. The light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful Yogis, for joining. I hope you enjoyed. While you're still here, I would love it if you could subscribe to this channel. The support means the world to me. I've just started it out. I don't know if you'd be watching this in the future. That would be fun as well. So yeah, please like it. Please let me know below how you got on a level of 1 to mega sweat. Where were you at? Yeah, and let me know what other sorts of classes that you'd like to see or little tutorials. I'm going to start making some shorter videos as well. So yes, really look forward to seeing you back here around the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and you can also find us on Instagram. So I'm Emily Yeah Yoga, and then there's also us, the Yeah Yoga Co, on there as well. So thank you so much for joining, and yeah, see you back here again really soon. Take care, everyone.